The trial of 17 journalists from Cumhuriyet, Turkey's only remaining opposition newspaper, resumed in Istanbul today. The paper's executives, along with some of its leading writers and cartoonists, are charged with supporting Fethullah Gülen, the exiled Turkish spiritual leader accused by President Recep Erdogan of masterminding last July's failed coup. They face up to 43 years in jail. By the end of 2016, Turkey had locked up more than 100 journalists, more than any other country in the world. Today, some counts put that number closer to 150. Hundreds more have fled Turkey to escape detention. One of them spoke to Phoebe Greenwood.
Can Dundar is one of President Erdogan's most outspoken media critics.
Kaçak sarayın sakini bizi yeniden tutuklatmak için gördüğünüz gibi her şeyi yapıyor.
He'd already served 3 months in solitary detention, survived an assassination attempt, and was appealing a sentence of 5 years and 10 months in jail on terrorism charges when the military attempted its overthrow. With the coup, everything changed. Can believes the state prosecutors demanding that he get 2 life sentences would meet no resistance in the post-coup courts. He had been allowed to travel on bail and was abroad during the attempted overthrow. Watching the purge that followed, he knew he couldn't return to Turkey, so he sought refuge in Germany. In Berlin, he launched a new media project, Özgürüz, which means we are free. The website was blocked in Turkey within hours of launching.
2 hafta öncekinde Gülsüm Elvan Berkin Elvan'ın annesi ters kelepçeyle darp edilmiş, gözaltına alınmıştı ve kolu kırılmıştı.
Polisler belli mi Zübeyde? Kim oldukları belli mi? Polislerin kim olduğu belli mi?
Özgürüz has just published its first print edition, aimed at Germany's 3 million Turkish speakers. Can is still trying to work out how to get copies safely into Turkey.
This is the first opportunity really outside of Turkey for you to be printing whatever you want.
Exactly.
I mean, how did you choose the issues?
This is a hardcore issue in Turkey. I don't think that they can publish it in any paper in Turkey now.
So I love this logo. It's a kind of solidarity, you know, showing solidarity.
Hashtag solidarity.
In the weeks that followed the attempted coup, more than 110,000 people were detained and 50,000 arrested. In this atmosphere, Can fears his Cumhuriyet colleagues are destined to join the growing ranks of Erdogan's critics in Turkey's swollen jails.
You know, there are like more than 150 journalists in Turkish jails, but when Erdogan's been asked about that, he said, no, there are only 2 journalists in jail, the rest are terrorists.
Erdogan says that they are not guilty of crimes of journalism, but terrorism. And that's the problem of the definition of terrorism, because every criticism about the government or Erdogan is regarded as terrorist attempt by the government.
Where are all these people being kept? I mean, the prisons must be completely bursting at the seams.
Yeah, it's full, and the whole prisons are full and overbooked, let's say. So sometimes in some prisons they share the beds. They're building more prisons than schools nowadays.
What has been the impact of the coup on journalism in Turkey now? Like, how can you get news if you're an independent-minded Turk in Turkey?
It killed journalism. There are still very brave journalists, thanks God, and they are taking risk to inform the public. You can be brave, but if your friend's in jail, you have to be very careful what you're writing, what you're saying.
Because of the impact of that person?
Yeah, of course. So you can risk their lives. But this is the period of time that I'm proud of being a journalist. It's like war reporting something, and someone has to do this.
There's such a tight control of freedom of speech in Turkey. Do you think it will remain this tightly contained, or will it even get any worse? Where do you see it going with freedom of speech in Erdogan?
I guess he just want to be the Sultan of Turkey, not only Turkey, but the whole Islamic world. This is his main aim, I guess. I just want to be a free writer, but I became a freedom fighter. So it's not a good thing for a journalist. I mean, we are losing our objectivity in a way. But now we are defending our rights, our profession, our families, our country. So it's a kind of obligation now, and we can't give up.